This is a piece of international news, as I just mentioned. Can't help but be interested. This is another thing actually that people have sent me as well. There's a huge protest going on, farmer protest in India, over a new shift, a new change in policy around how farmed goods, food, things like this are bought and sold. It's currently regulated, so there's like a minimum. If you do the work and grow the food, the government will ensure that enforce that it can't be sold below a certain amount. So you're going to get something out of it. Recently, there's been a push to open things up, deregulate it, and make it so that it operates more like a free market, lowest price wins, etc. Now, there's a pushback there from farmers. At least that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing thousands of people that are protesting. And it has now weirdly, obviously these people they're actually unhappy for a couple of reasons. They're unhappy possibly because they disagree with the proposal, but they're also unhappy with how it got pushed through government. They feel like it didn't follow the correct channels or that it was pushed through, expedited in a certain way by the power of the individuals at the top. That's one of the speculations that's part of the unrest. Mm-hmm. But what's happened, it took a turn here where not only is there a protest going on, but they've decided also to attack a company that we talk about frequently on the show, which is Reliance Industries and their Jio network, cell network, who at one point were practically giving away data. We're practically giving away connections to eventually raise the price at a later date, get people on board, get people hooked. And so some of these protesters have begun to attack cell towers operated by Reliance Industries. 2,000 cell towers have apparently been damaged amid backlash over the potential for agriculture deregulation. Now, you might be wondering, why are you going to destroy some cell towers? And this is one of those things where it feels hard to get the real information out. Is it really just for the purpose of causing a ruckus? Or are there people here who see a connection between this deregulation and the relationship that Ambani might have with policymakers inside of India? Does he potentially stand to gain from this deregulation? He has the food shops over there already. Can he come in low ball? Can he come in and find efficiencies and dominate that marketplace, which could end up affecting these? Now he's not saying that. Reliance is not saying that. Reliance isn't even saying necessarily that they support this, because that might be a risky move at the moment. But people still seem to speculate that might be possible. So this is my limited interpretation. I think it's a subject that, well, it's certainly a subject that many people have requested for me to take a look at and talk about. So I definitely wanted to do that. There's an important graph right there, by the way, as far as the percentage of Indians that live in a rural area, rural lifestyle. It's a very high percentage of the entirety of India. In fact, 65.5% of the Indian population lives in a rural fashion, which therefore showcases the importance of this particular unrest. It's a lot of people who rely on farming and rely on that way of life. China, for example, 36.7%, the US 17%, Japan, you can see only 8.3% of the population living in a rural fashion. So an interesting topic. You have this very old profession, the profession of growing food, weirdly interacting with this very new profession, the profession of telecommunications, and multi-billionaire status, and a potential dispute.